almost too tight to get a pickup. We can't get our big truck down through there to maintain it. Well, it's gonna have to be moved. With getting some of the gravel roads paved where we don't have so much gravel road work to do, we're gonna be able to do a little bit more with the alleys than we've had to in the past, been able to in the past. Alleys are secondary roads, and I thought we had all curbside pickup of trash anyway. I didn't know anybody was still using alleys, so, but we've just not been able to maintain them the way they need to be.
We've got a few neighborhoods here in town that they still try to.
Yeah. Well, if anyone calls about them, we try to get over there and get them done right then. Otherwise, we just.
Sure you want to say that on there? 'Cause you'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, we get calls all the time, so I just tell them you're on the list. So we have a list.
We've had that conversation, that you don't know unless somebody calls you.
Yeah.
And that's true.
I mean, yeah, we don't, and what I was gonna say is, when people call, we try to go get those, or if I drive by and see it, I write it down that we need to get over and get that one, and like Bill said, if people don't call, we're not all over town all the time, you know. Usually I'm where the contractors are, or back and forth between the office and there, so, but we try to write them down, me and Gerald write them down as we see them, and try to get to them as we can.
Also a question, Mr. President. I would like to give, Mr. Fowler, this is, I mean, a large portion of this is your property, what you're talking about, and you're the one that brought the issue up. Would you like to say a couple words?
Yep. So it's not, for me, it's about kind of, we're upkeeping it anyway. It makes it a little safer for us. You know, just, it was probably 4 weeks ago. Judge Pryor was out standing in the middle of the road with 3 other guys getting his lawnmower out of the ditch. And that highway is busy. And I don't know of any time I've ever seen a city or state employee mowing that didn't have cones or safety people or even stopping traffic. But we're supposed to go mow this and take care of this, and we don't have any of that. And it's dangerous. When I was cutting all those trees down, I spent many hours out there and waiting for 30, 40 minutes to drop a limb that was probably going to land in the road, but I had to wait for cars to stop. I mean, I didn't know that road was that busy when we bought that house. It's a fairly busy road, and it's a safety issue for us to keep it up. It's not undoable, but it is a safety issue. You have to pull out on the highway for me, unless I put a $3,500 gate in. I've got to go all the way outside the neighborhood. Don Collins does it right now, twice a week, and mows the strip all the way down. And you know, he's driving down that highway on a lawnmower with no shoulder on the road, and people doing 65, 70 miles an hour out there. I mean, it's dangerous. We can wait till somebody dies, or we can fix it now. The correct answer is probably fixing it now. So that's where I'm at with it. It does make it easier for me, but it's a safety concern. You know, it's a safety concern to the city mostly, but if we're able to move our fences out there, we can hit it with a weed eater, and that's a little bit easier than a lawnmower. Getting them stuck in the ditches that just got cleaned out, but they've got to be steep or they don't work. You know, so how do you mow that? You really can't. I mean, you end up like Judge Pryor in a ditch. And it's for us, it's a safety issue, but you know, it's not undoable. I'm not trying to step on Sea Light Gas and Water's toes or anybody, other than we just need to at least address it. And you know, I'm a rational guy. I feel like, you know, and I've heard all the points. I know that one of the council, I guess part of the council's committee said they didn't want to vote. They didn't want to vote for it because it's never been done before. That's a silly response. And you know, I get it. It's never been done before. It opens up a Pandora's box to everybody in town wanting to take their alley or whatever, or half their alley. And I understand that part, but I understand the financial constraints we're already faced with the street department. And you know, I understand trash trucks can't get down them, and a lot of the different alleys now. To me, it makes sense to, why don't we allow this to happen as a town? And I mean, if I didn't even think about that part when I first started coming up with this, but to me, makes sense to, you know, we don't always have to do it like it was. You know, we can progress a little bit, and that makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to some people that, there's a few issues that we face with in the future coming up that I didn't even know about those till just now. But that definitely makes sense. So to me, I'm a rational guy. If everybody decides, you know, hey, this is not what we want to do, you know, I'm going to be okay with it. I'm still going to mow it. I probably won't have my 3-year-old in my lap when I do, you know. But anyway, so that's
Your
what
other, your other two neighbors want to move their fences back as well?
Yes, everybody does on the whole, and everybody signed the petition. They don't want it to be an alley. Clearly, I don't think it's needed. It never was used as an alley, and there's 30-year-old trees planted in the middle of it. And I know, you know, talking about being able to cut some of the trees back, you still can't get anything, maybe a Honda Accord in between there, because you still have the boxes that come out. So there's no way a utility truck can use that. A fire truck can't use it. Fire hydrant's on the other side anyway.
And you have to drive in front of the shelter place sign, it's that alley. It doesn't go around the back of that sign.
Correct.
So you'd have to go in front of that shelter place drive sign just to get to that alley.
Sure.
And they're huge. There are
Right.
30-year-old trees or more.
Yep. So, and you couldn't cut half
So,
the ferns down. It's going to
You
kill
have
them.
two huge ruts right in the middle of the shelter place sign out here. You're gonna have another issue if you start accessing that as an alley.
Right. Right.
So
But I do understand.
that's another opinion.
You know, it's a can of worms when you open it and you know, 30 other people want to abandon their alley. I mean, I get it. So,
Thank you, Dr. Fowler.
yes, sir.
Mr. Fisher, would you like to say something on this issue?
Sure. I'm glad you brought up the safety issue, because when we don't have alleys and we can't get bucket trucks, we can't get trucks in there to lift 5, 6, 7, 800-pound transformers, my guys have to climb. And that opens them up to safety issues. When they've got trees that are overgrown, when they can't see where they're going, when they can't do their job. That's why the alleys are set in place. That's why the alleys are there, for us to put utilities in there. You talk about a $3,500 gate, there's gonna have to be gates there anyways, because we're gonna have to access it if he does build that. So I don't think a $3,500 gate is really an issue. If that is all abandoned all the way through there, like he said, Pandora's box, it's gonna happen all across town. How are you guys gonna say yes to somebody else and no to the next person? All right, and just saying no because that's the way we've always done it is not the case. We're saying no because there's a reason behind having alleys placed in these properties. It's so that we can access what we need to. Back in 2021, Winter Storm Uri, I didn't really know about it because I wasn't in the utility world. We had gas issues. We had gas supply issues out there. So gas is something that can kill people. I had this whole conversation in front of the zoning variance committee when they recommended to you guys that we not move forward with this, that, you know, recommended not to do it. But that's the kind of stuff that kills people, that we can't wait on whether somebody's got a lock on their gate or if we got to get through 3 different gates to get to where we need to go. There is access from the north side, I think, going behind that alley next to your place. So you could come in from the north and come down the alleyway there. So not just coming from the south. Not ideal. They put their trash, I lived in that neighborhood, they put the trash on the street anyway, so it's not an issue of trash truck being able to get through there. Trash trucks have never been through there. They're not gonna go through there because they go in the front. So I'm gonna protect my guys, right? And, you know, my teammates being able to have to climb up and down poles, getting into stuff. And it's not gonna happen in this neighborhood, no, because it's not aerial. But the next neighborhood might be. You know, you got all the Baker Edition, all of that. We can't get back in there, so my guys have to put on hooks. They have to climb up there and swap out that transformer. When we've got a $400,000 truck that's built to do that. So it's a safety issue for our guys as well. So I respectfully request again, like I did in front of the other committee, for you guys vote against this. Thank you.
Okay, we have the motion on the floor to, so Jake, your motion was to not, or to vacate it?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
And retain.
And retain.
Yes.
So we have a motion to vacate and retain the easement. Do we have a second? Do we have a second, Mr. Gary? Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Okay, all opposed?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm out.
agreed to, one, so everyone said nay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to 3. Okay. Motion fails. All right, the next item, we will, okay, mayor's report. Today is, August 2nd. It is the first Tuesday of August, not October, I'm trying to get ahead of myself. August. That, hopefully everybody went out and, got the sticker today, voted. I didn't check with all of them, but they were up there talking as I was counting. One of the wards had 152, one at 122, Ward 1 was at 139 at 6 o'clock. I don't know where they ended up for the night, but so that right there is 400 people in 3 of the 5 wards for primary. No, there wasn't a whole lot on there, but it's your right to get out and vote. One thing that I'll make sure to try and get out tomorrow, that for the council and really for the town, conservation agent Eric Hiron, there we go, sent me an email that there is some grant money out there for an issue that would get people out and about. You know, whether it's a walking trail going down the old railroad tracks from Kennett out to Combs Lake, or somewhere, something that